All right. Let's see. Do you think this X is big enough over Chikorita?
I mean, it pretty well covers it.
Yeah, I think we could use some more. Could probably use a cinder block too. Man, welcome back to the Chikorita hate cast, where
This
we
is
hate
our
Chikorita.
episode called Pokemon Hot
If
Takes,
I saw that little
and
freak, I would grill it up, put him in an omelet.
that is Will's primary Pokemon hot take, is how much he hates Chikorita.
Hate that little guy. Show's over. We're done.
That's the whole show. Will just
given my
really wanted to
opinion.
go on record here
Yeah,
saying that he
for the
hated
record,
Chikorita.
if I ever go for public office, I despise this Pokemon.
That's what his platform is gonna be.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't even really like hate it. It's just fun to hate. Like I'm doing it for sport, you know.
The most dangerous game. Will's hunting
Actually, the most
Chikorita.
dangerous game is probably like football or something with all the brain damage. Rugby, something with a spike.
Oh yeah, dude. Rugby to me, I'm like, I don't know how those guys aren't
Dude, what about polo? Like on
like literally
horses.
dying. Oh yeah, polo's super dangerous, man.
What's a good one with like spikes?
Bikes?
No
I
spikes.
mean, you
No,
could
hockey's
say,
dangerous. Hockey,
yeah, hockey
dude,
with the
people getting
skates
their
is
necks
incredibly
open.
dangerous.
Crazy stuff.
I mean, lots of sports use various types of cleats, but I don't know how dangerous.
If I
that
were
is.
in a sport, I would probably use Chikorita as my shoe.
As your shoe,
Mhm.
I don't know, man. I don't know how
Probably,
good a shoe that would be.
probably pretty good. Probably have some good like arch support. Maybe like
So, as
squishy.
your take, explain why you don't like Chikorita.
It all started when I was a boy.
Play some violin music.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if I hate it, but there was a moment when I was younger and I had a bunch of Pokemon cards, and there's a specific Pokemon card. Actually, I'll see if I can find it real quick. Chikorita, the Pokemon card, claymation. You know the claymation
Oh
ones?
yeah, I think I know what you're talking
Dude.
about.
Okay, so there was this Pokemon card that I had. Dude, the software is freaking out right now. We're gonna switch to web browser view. This Pokemon card right here. And for some reason or another,
So this
I
is the
left
card
my
that made you hate.
Pokemon cards in my pocket after school. Okay. My mom goes to wash my shorts. Didn't see that there were Pokemon cards in the cargo pocket. I was hauling freight full of my Hot Wheels Acceleracers and Pokemon cards. And Chikorita was unfortunately the one on top that got destroyed the most. And so I still have it somewhere. This just blue Chikorita card that was like stained by like fabric softener. But I find this card very funny because it looks like he's running away from like a sandstorm or something. But now that I'm looking at it, he's just sitting on a rock and the background's blurry.
Yeah.
I always misinterpreted that. I really thought he was running from like impending doom. Like
I
there was
mean,
a
I could see that.
horde
It's
behind
probably
him of angry people trying to kill him, and he's smiling in the face at death.
he looks pretty happy.
Yeah, what's the
He is
deal with
not
that?
worried about it.
What's the deal with that? I also find it interesting that the claymation version has more detail than the official
Yeah.
drawing.
Yeah, the claymation one looks way better.
Come to think of it, I do think this is cute. Something is wrong with this.
Claymation much cuter
Yeah,
than non-claymation.
this does not look right. I don't know if it's the lack of nose or beak.
Well, there's just like nothing there.
You
Chikorita
can
is
see the
just like
shine
a
on the
blob.
dome. It looks like Mr. Clean. Green Mr. Clean.
It's like a very low effort.
This is really
design.
bad.
And
Man.
I mean, I didn't like Chikorita in the anime. It was super annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, like you have all these other guys, and then this. Then you have this.
I mean, I hate Chikorita, but I definitely don't like it.
Yeah, I just don't think that, like, Chikorita should be, like, seen as a legitimate Pokemon.
I
So,
mean, it looks like somebody forgot to draw some lines or something.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not removing the X. It's staying over the screen for any of you audio listeners. There's a picture of Chikorita on the screen with an X over it. Kind of looks like a pirate's X on a map. Very
Yeah,
crudely drawn, very. It looks like they drew the X and then drew another line because they were like, yeah, we got to cover up the leaf. I
yeah.
can assure you I did not draw that. But yeah, that's that's how we're starting this. Just in case, yeah, we didn't even say it. This is Culture Credence episode 8.
So
I'm Will,
8. I'm Nathan.
and today we're gonna be talking again for quite some time. Do some yapping today. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I'll go get into my first hot take I wanted to do. And mine's going to be a little less primal than Will's, a little more thought out,
No,
not
it's thought out.
not
It shakes me to my
hatred.
core.
It's so this is not anything bad about Bulbasaur. I like Bulbasaur as a Pokemon, particularly in the anime. I like the design of Bulbasaur. We ranked Bulbasaur what as an S tier in our Pokemon starter tier rankings.
Yeah.
This is strictly analytical based on the games. So the conventional wisdom and even kind of the way Pokemon presents it to you, and everyone just says it like it's fact, is that Bulbasaur is the best and easiest starter for Red and Blue or FireRed LeafGreen. My hot take is it most absolutely is not the best starter, nor the easiest starter for those playthrough of those games. It might even be last. And here's my reasons, and there's more than one. So, first is just the Pokemon itself and its attributes in the game. If you have ever tried to use Bulbasaur, I know a lot of people love Bulbasaur in the games. It is not good in the games. Venusaur is not good in the games. That's another Pokemon I like. I like the design. It's not a good Pokemon in the games. Uh, People like to talk about it having balanced stats as though that's a good thing, but really what it means is it's not really good at anything. It's just kind of there. And with your starter Pokemon, you need something strong. With Blastoise, you have the strong defense. With Charizard, you have the strong special attack, the high speed. Um, Venusaur, you got nothing. And I'll put it this way: when you're battling the first battle with your rival, Gary, Blue, whoever you want to call him, in Oak's lab, generally that's a really easy fight to win if you chose Squirtle or Charmander. If you chose Bulbasaur, there's a relatively good chance you're going to lose that fight because Bulbasaur's attack is so weak and its only attack at that point is tackle. So, my point is, it's not a very good Pokemon. Just
Mm.
for a playthrough in the games. Second point here is grass Pokemon are not very good generally, especially early in 1, 2, 3 generations. They are especially not very good in Kanto. And here is where people are going to go, what are you talking about? So, yes, Bulbasaur is strong against Brock. He is strong against Misty. While not strong against Lieutenant Surge, electric Pokemon are not strong against grass. So, Thunderbolt, whatever, is not going to be that effective against Bulbasaur. All of that is true. However, what happens after the third gym? Okay, you have a grass type gym. That's not going to help you at all. Then you have a psychic type gym, which Bulbasaur is weak to, and I'm going to get into type weaknesses here in a second. You have a poison type gym, no good there, even though Bulbasaur is a grass poison. You're never going to have a situation after about the second gym where Bulbasaur is really strong against anything. So you go to Cinnabar, that's a fire type gym, you're weak there. You go to Viridian, that is kind of a hodgepodge, but a ground, rock, poison, uh, some good, some bad there. Okay, but here's the real problem. In the Elite Four, Bulbasaur is useless because the first member of the Elite Four, that's water, but it's mainly ice. So Bulbasaur, Venusaur, whatever, is weak against the first member of the Elite Four. Second member is probably the Bruno is probably the best that Venusaur has because it's strong against the Onix, however many he has in that version of the game, generally too. And fighting type Pokemon are not strong against poison type Pokemon. That's the best he has to offer you in the entire Elite Four. In the third member of the Elite Four, Agatha, that is poison and it is ghost, and there are psychic type moves. It's useless against the third member of the Elite Four. Fourth is even worse. You have dragon and you have flying type Pokemon. Bulbasaur is completely useless. By the way, I love what you're doing here on the screen. But Venusaur's totally useless against Lance. Then Venusaur is not really particularly very helpful against Blue, Gary, whatever you want to call him, either. Now, I want to contrast that with who I say is the best Pokemon to choose just based on itself, not on your team's lineup, is Squirtle. And to me, it's not even close because Squirtle is strong against the first gym. It is not weak to the second gym. You're going to have a type resistance there because it's water. Squirtle is going to learn Bite, which is a dark type move in Fire Red and Leaf Green, which then makes it strong against Misty Starmie. Third gym, you got me there. It's electric type. Go get a Diglett. Okay. Fourth gym, you're weak there. Hopefully by then you've picked up a fire or a flying type Pokemon. Then psychic type, you've got Bite again. And by then you probably have a Blastoise who is very strong. Sixth gym, neutral there. Seventh gym, Blastoise is strong against. Eighth gym, Blastoise is strong against. Then you get to the Elite Four. You've got a neutral matchup with the water ice situation. You've got a strong matchup with the rock situation. Fighting is neutral. Third gym, same thing. Or third Elite Four member, Agatha, it's neutral. But if you kept Bite, you have a super effective move there. And against Lance, Blastoise is the only option where you can teach your Pokemon ice type moves. So ice is incredibly important against Lance. Water can be helpful as well. Uh, think if think if you're going up against Aerodactyl, and then Blastoise is a good option for fighting Blue Gary. So to me, it is not even remotely close. Blastoise is the better choice for the game, for the playthrough. It's a better Pokemon. It has a relatively good special attack, very high defense, a lot better move set than Venusaur. I just think it's a lot better option for the games. I think you could make the argument for Charmander. Yes, Charmander, fire type is not incentivized at all in Gen 1 or the Gen 3 remakes. But there are times where a fire Pokemon is really helpful. You think Erica, you think Koga. Both of those are situations where a fire type is helpful. He gets the flying type as a Charizard, then you're strong against the fighting types. Charizard's special attack is very high. His flamethrower is very good in Fire Red, Leaf Green. So I think you could even make the argument that Charizard's a better option than Venusaur. Now, here's where I'm coming to the end of my argument that is really long, and you've probably all tuned out by now. So, types. Bulbasaur evolution line. You are grass poison. So, in Gen 1, that makes you weak to ice, flying, fire, and psychic. You are only strong against water, ground, and rock. Okay, let's contrast that with water. Water Pokemon are strong against fire, rock, and ground. Okay, well, there's 2 of what grass is strong against. Water Pokemon are only weak to electric and grass. If you take a fire type Pokemon, you're weak against rock, ground, water. You're strong against steel, grass, bug, ice. So, really, no matter how you slice it, grass poison is a worse type matchup than water or fire flying. So, anyway, my point is everyone has just got it as like, oh, yes, it's absolute fact. Bulbasaur is the best Pokemon to choose in Gen 1. And I don't really understand it because I see online that it seems like everybody loves Bulbasaur the best, but I know that's not true. I know most people probably picked Squirtle or Charmander. But I'm bucking against this trend that yes, I understand it levels up faster. Yes, I understand it evolves into Venusaur at 32 instead of 36 like Blastoise and Charizard, but Bulbasaur is not the best option to choose in Kanto. It is the worst option to choose in Kanto. So that is my first Pokemon hot take.
If you're a grad student out there right now and need a topic for a dissertation, this would be a great one.
Yeah, you could just take it word for word and put it in the paper. Just give me a shout out on there.
You like the picture of the cabbages singing in a field?
Yeah, I love that episode of the show.
It's so cute. Yeah, I
Very good
like
episode.
Bulbasaur in theory.
Yes,
But in
exactly.
practice, Bulbasaur, he cannot
It
clutch
stinks.
up. I like fat Bulbasaur. I don't like
Yeah.
the in-game Bulbasaur. He's not endearing like anime Bulbasaur is.
No, I agree. He looks way better in the anime than in the game.
Yes.
And that's just the thing. It's a good Pokemon that everyone likes, but it's not good in game. It
Yeah.
just is what it is.
Yeah. And what it is trash.
Yeah. And I mean, I even
And
used it in
shiny, trash shiny.
I've even used it in other games like X and Y, and it's just not good. I mean,
I've
grass
avoided
is
at all
bad.
costs.
And I mean, Charizard and Blastoise are so good. So why would you choose Bulbasaur? So anyway,
Yup. Well, if you didn't like that one, you're probably actually you might like the next one because there's a good chance you like Gen 1. I don't care one way or another. I like most of the gens, but there's one that I cannot stand for the life of me.
oh man, I think I
Dude,
know what's coming.
I don't want to get shot, so I don't know if I should
Dude,
say
I'm
this or
total.
not.
If you're gonna say it, I think I'm totally in agreement with what you're gonna say.
All right. Let me prepare. Yeah, I don't like Gen 5, really at all.
100% on board.
It's okay, so something I've noticed, because you've been playing since Gen 1, I've been playing since Gen 2/3, right?
Right.
Um, and I have, consistently played, like, I played Gen 6, loved it. Played Gen 7, was good. 8, excellent. It's not like a new versus old thing. Gen 5 felt so off. It was pushing the boundaries of the hardware at the time. And so you get this weird pixel stretching thing going on that makes characters warp, it makes the backgrounds warp. And for the first time in my life, as like when did that come out? As a youngster, I got so motion sick trying to play Pokemon Black and White that I could not. And I was so excited for this game. Like I really wanted to play the game. And that's the first of many issues. The balancing in the first game is just awful. Like it's
Yeah.
either way too hard at the beginning, way too easy. There's no Pokemon in some places. There's desert areas. There's some cool towns, some neat characters. I think the character design's pretty good, but the Pokemon design is so weak, and there's very few Pokemon. Um, the UI is just moving around everywhere while you're playing, and that's another nauseating thing about it. So I just can't do it. And I remember when Black and White 2 came out, I love the premise of the story. It's really cool, but the execution of everything around it brings it down. It kind of has the issue that Legend ZA has, where it could be such a good game if it isn't sabotaging itself. with all of these fundamental flaws. Um, and I remember Black and White and Black and White 2 were bargain bin games. Like, people did not want these. They were on shelves at GameStop and EB Games all the time. Like, I didn't see people buying them up at all. And suddenly, when people started scalping these games around Gen 6, Gen 7, around that time. Actually, no, it was much later. I think it was after the Switch came out, the prices spiked for these games because they were still relatively cheap. I think I bought White 2 from GameStop in the box maybe 2019 or something like that for $30, right? And a new copy, not even like it wasn't even used. Same thing with a Platinum. So yeah, it's just spiked to like almost $200 for a copy of this game. And if you want it in the box, it's even more. And I just don't
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
completely
that
insane.
good. Um,
It's not. It's not that good.
there's
And
some good parts about the story, but like the game itself is just not great.
I 100% agree with you. I don't wanna hijack your point. I wanna
Go on,
play off of it.
go on.
So, you're coming from the perspective of you were really getting into Pokemon in Gen 3-ish, and
Right.
you were still playing then. I'm coming from the perspective of I quit playing after 3 and came back. So, from both our perspectives, 5 is our least favorite. And so, I have liked everything. I like Gen 5 as a game, but it's just meh to me. Everything else is like, "Oh, I love that game." Gen 5 is I don't like the look, like you said, everything looks off, everything feels off. I like that they tried to bring back moving sprites like Crystal, but it just doesn't look right. It looks really weird. Most of the okay, so, like, here's an example. So, the first batch, Black and White, this is the game where they decide to go back to no Pokemon except that region's dex. Okay, well, if you're going to do that, you need a strong, group of Pokemon. Gen 5 has the worst selection of Pokemon, the worst dex of any generation, in my opinion. There are some really I love Oshawott, I like Duat, I like Samurott,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
love
there's some very
Haxorus.
strong Pokemon. Even the legendaries are amazing in that game. I think
They have
Reshiram
some
and Zekrom are awesome. But
they have some
oh my
very cool
goodness.
designs, but most of the designs are blech, I don't like them.
And I'm not gonna be
And
the guy who's like, "Oh, the ice cream cone Pokemon." Like, even like, was it Musharna is the
I hate that Pokemon.
it's nasty. Like, I don't why would I want a
It's just a blob
fetus?
with a
Like,
snot bubble coming out of its nose. I mean,
well, let me
it's
look actually,
let's just, like, look at the Pokemon and we'll say what we like, what we don't like.
yeah, I
S
actually do like Victini. Um,
Teeny,
he's cute.
fine, I don't have
I
warm
like the
feelings.
idea of a Pokédex number 0. I think that was a cool idea. Um, I have no beef with the Oshawott line at all. Even Snivy, like,
Snivy's
he's
line is
okay.
okay.
I like
The
Tepig.
Tepig
I
line I
don't like
don't
the other
really like.
2.
Yeah,
Now this is
I
where
don't
we get
like
into it.
these at all.
Patrat, horrible. I do like the little Yorkie dog. That one's cute.
Yeah,
I don't like the next few.
nope,
I
don't like
hate
them.
these.
Okay, so I like Pansage,
The
Pansear,
first form's
Panpour.
good. Second
I
form,
don't
cannot
like
stand.
Simisage, Simisear, Simipour.
Yeah.
They ruined it with the evolutions.
These two, I thought I liked them, and then I was like, "Yeah,
Don't
I
like them.
don't know about this." When they started to turn them to 3D, this makes sense. Pigeon and New York. The evolutions are kinda
Yeah, but
weak.
it's just kind of, ugh,
I think
boring. Yeah, they're not good.
Zebstrika and Blitzel might be some of the strongest from this gen.
Yes, I like those Pokemon, but they aren't very good in the
Mhm.
game.
Yeah, I
So you
agree.
get them and use them, but they're not very good.
Uh, I
I
don't
hate this
like
Pokemon.
these. They're weird.
I don't like these.
No,
Don't
no,
like those.
no.
Don't hate those.
These
Despise
are
those.
yucky, but it's kind of funny that they're construction workers. But I don't know why they look like they're like naked men with like growths on
Yeah,
their head. Like just
veins
you
and
have Machoke, Machamp.
and they're just you
Yeah.
just got a
I
steel girder,
hate
like
this one.
yeah, I don't like those. I really don't like throw and sock.
Nope. Nope.
That
Nope. Nope.
I mean,
This one's kind of cute. Actually, this
yeah,
one I think is good
that's one of the
as
better
well.
lines, and Crocodile is one of the strongest
Yes.
Pokemon. Like, if you use Crocodile in Gen 5, it is amazing, so there is
I
that, but
despise
I
this
don't
one.
like
This one
Darmanitan
I think
either.
is cute. I think this could have been like a Gen 3 or 4 Pokemon easily. I don't even
I
remember
do like
his name.
Dwebble.
Yeah, he's cute.
Good design there. I
Scrafty,
hate
I don't
Scrap
like. I don't like that he's
Scrappy.
holding up his pants. Looks like
I
someone's
hate Sigilif.
persona.
I hate that.
I do like this
I do
one.
yeah,
This
I
looks
like
like
the
a Gen 2
turtles.
design. This also looks like a Gen
Tortuga.
2 design. However, in Gen 6, this one, Archie whatever, looks terrifying. It moves just
Yeah,
diabolically.
it's pretty creepy looking.
Trubbish,
Don't
no
like
good.
don't like our trash bag Pokemon.
These are
I
okay.
do really like Zora, and I like Zoroark.
I like these two.
They're cute, yeah.
I like the first one more than the second one.
Same.
I don't like
I
this
hate
at all.
these.
This
Despite
is
hate these.
weird. I think this form is cute. The other two I do not like, but the third one I think is good.
I don't like
Nope.
these. I actually
I've
like the first ice cream cone.
Yeah, I've warmed up to it. I
Vanillish.
do think that Vanillish is good.
The
The
other two I
idea of the
don't love.
deer Pokemon was cool too, having one for each
I
season.
do like the deer. I wish they were
That
better. They're
was
not
a
very
good
good.
gimmick. Yeah. Another
I like Emolga's design, but it is
yeah.
just another Pikachu clone. I don't like that
No, no,
or that.
no,
Hate that.
no.
Hate
Yuck.
them.
This is one of the worst ones. But
Yeah, I really
it's
hate
funny
that.
that they did make like a sunfish Pokemon finally.
Don't
I don't
really
like
like
these in the
these
anime.
either.
They are good though.
I will say that's a good design. I
Yes,
just
the
don't like
color
it.
scheme's good.
I don't like Frostseed,
When I saw those for the first time, someone had traded them online to me under the name Metagross 2, so I thought this Pokemon was
Oh,
Metagross 2
brother,
when I
dude.
saw it for the first
What
time.
a rude awakening.
Yeah. So that was
I hate the gear
yeah.
Pokemon.
Well, the last two were kind of lazy. Like make the third one different. The
They
Time
have like
Glow and
goofy
stuff
looking noses and
I
stuff.
didn't like before, but I like it now that it's in 3D. I think it looks good.
I don't have a problem with the design. I just hate
Yeah,
it. It's
I'm not
just
gonna use it.
ugly. So
I did like these
don't like
too.
them.
The episode where they were in the anime I thought was cool.
They like take over.
Yeah, I thought that was fun, but I don't know.
I like
These are
Litwick
good.
kind of, but I don't like Chandelure and all that.
I I don't mind it. I think Axew's okay. It's kind of weird looking. I
Yeah.
just don't like the color scheme of the line.
I love Haxorus. I think Haxorus is awesome. But I do agree the colors are kind of weird.
Yeah. These guys are
I hate
okay,
these
but I
two.
don't like the nose drip. I think that's gross.
Yeah.
I don't
Really
like
hate
that.
this.
I like
Don't
the
like these
second one, but
colors.
it doesn't belong in
Yeah.
Pokemon. It looks like a Digimon.
I do like
Dude,
Stunfisk.
I hate Stun. Dude, hot take. Hate that Pokemon. It's
That is a
everywhere.
hot take.
It is
People love
everywhere.
Stunfisk.
Dude, you're stepping on him and
Yeah, they're
he's an
annoying. Especially
overabundance.
in Legends
And
ZA,
they're
dude. You're like,
super
get off me.
strong too. I realized I haven't scrolled down on. Oh, it won't let me scroll down.
I don't like
Hold
Mean
on.
Foo, Mean Shell.
Let's see. Dude, which layer did I put this in? Oh, there it is. We're gonna. Oh, no, that did nothing. Okay. I was trying to expand the page and it's not doing that. Try that. Oh, there we go. Now we can see them all. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those either. This one in Gen 6 was so good, actually. The dragon. I don't like him
Cardigan
very
or whatever it's
much.
called.
Yeah, but The color scheme's cool. The golems are a cool idea, but
Can't.
I don't like them that much. I
Yeah.
hate this one. That was a super
Yep.
common Pokemon card too, like, you would always get that one. Don't
Buffon
like
is
that.
just a Tauros clone.
First one's cute here. Don't like any of these.
Yep. Don't
No,
like Heat
no.
more.
These are
I
kind of
do
funny.
like, I do like
Swellies.
this line.
Yeah, me too. I
But then you can't get it until so late in the
Yeah, that's the
game, and
same with Druddigon. Like, it's like, what's the point?
you have to be
It's in
such a high
Victory
level
Road
to
and Gen
evolve,
6.
you can't even use it.
Yeah, not cool.
I don't understand the Larvesta
Yeah, it's
obsession.
kinda
I don't
creepy.
think it's
It's
near as
gross.
good as what people think it is, and its
No.
design, it's
It's
not that
supposed to
good.
be like a pseudo-legendary, kinda like,
Yeah,
like a Tyranitar, but it's not to that
it's not
level.
that good. We've already talked on our
Don't like
legendary
them.
show, we don't like any of
I
these.
like
We
these
do
2.
like Reshiram and Zekrom.
I
They're
also
cool.
I don't usually like Kyurem. He's okay sometimes. Like, in 3D, I think he's cool. In 2D, I don't like the way he looks. Like, if I saw a plush of Kyurem, I'd be like, "Totally, that's kinda cool." I think those 2 are generic looking. I like base form Keldeo. I don't like the ultimate form or whatever. Meloetta's okay. Second Meloetta I hate. And then Genesect, I love Genesect. He's cool. So, yeah.
So, Gen 5 is overrated,
Yeah.
and it's got the worst
It's
anime
funny
by
because we
far.
could probably go back to the other lists of Pokemon and have about the same conversation where for like most of them we're like,
There's something
but
about the way the Pokemon are drawn in Gen
yeah,
5
it's okay. So
that I don't
here's my
like.
thing. We went from watercolor, right, to super thick lines, and then we went back to almost a pseudo watercolor with very thin lines, so they don't have that like cartoony design to them anymore. They feel very flat. Um, and even like on screen, like they're moving around, popping out of the screen, but they're 2D pixel offset from the background. I just, I'm not a big fan of that. So, not my thing. Yeah, here's 2 of our hottest takes.
Oh, no, I like Bulbasaur.
No,
I
you
just
hate
don't pick
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur.
Okay, you
I'm
don't
on
hate
record
Bulbasaur,
here.
you love Bulbasaur.
I
Here,
love
I'll put a
Bulbasaur.
green
I'm
circle.
looking at a Bulbasaur plush on my shelf right now,
Really?
but yeah.
Man, I got it all wrong, I'm sorry.
You
That's my
slandered me,
mistake.
bro. I'm
Dude,
gonna get hate mail.
I hope you don't get hate mail. It's gonna be worse than playing Rainbow Six Siege online with
I'm
people that you don't know, or at all.
gonna have to go back and edit this out.
Man, the whole video.
Yeah, the whole bit.
Well, okay. Well, I'll for the record, I'll fix this. We'll put a circle and we'll put it over Bulbasaur for you.
We love Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur's not
There we
good.
go.
That's the point.
Bulbasaur. This is this means good.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that little guy. I should have put the anime Bulbasaur next to him instead. This guy's a fraud. He's not even the real Bulbasaur.
No, that's fake Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give another hot take that goes with Gen 5, but is not Gen 5. And everyone's gonna hate everything that I say here, and get over it. So
Mm.
my hot take, one of mine, is okay. So the argument between things like some of the Pokemon in Gen 5 and Gen 1 and other gens. Okay, so I'm drawing a blank here. The gears, clink a clank, whatever
You're
it's
gonna get in
called.
so much trouble.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's gonna be like, you called it the wrong thing. I don't care. I'm not bothering to look it up right now. Okay, so everyone says, oh, well, they had the same type of Pokemon in Gen 5 or Gen 1. So Gen 1ers are just being stupid
I
because, you
agree.
know,
No.
now, and I would say most people agree with that. Here's my thing. There's 2, 3 points with this that I'll make quick. The first is, okay, but in Gen 1, when you had, we'll take Magnemite, Magneton, for example. All you had was animal type Pokemon by and large monster type Pokemon, things like that. And then you had in the electric typing only, you had Magnemite, Magneton, Voltorb, Electrode. I'm not talking
Well,
about Voltorb,
also,
Electrode right now.
I was about
Um,
to say that's a topic for another time because they should be ghost type, right? Like they're just haunted Pokeballs from the Pokeball factory.
but so like Magnemite, Magneton, it is very clear in the anime, like if you when they introduce Magnemite, that it's kind of an enigma to people. It's different. They don't really understand it. You know, it's when they make the Gen 1 Pokemon, there's only a very small number of Pokemon like that. And they're clearly set apart as different. And so when you look at the whole Pokedex, you're like, okay, that's a, mechanical type Pokemon. And it's people say, oh, it's just a magnet. It's not just a magnet. I mean, I get it.
It's a magnet with a
It's
screw.
largely a magnet, but it's two magnets, the ball, the eye, the screw, they float. It's not literally
And they all move
just,
independently too. Like it's very
yeah,
like weird. Yeah.
it's not literally just gears. Like, there's a difference. I also feel like
Mm,
Magnemite is drawn a little bit differently. Like I said, it doesn't have the goofy
I mean,
round
the gears
nose
have
and
other components to them that also move around all funkily and is very like mysterious, I would say.
but my take, the point I'm trying to make is I don't think it's completely unreasonable for a person to say like Magnemite, Magneton and not like some of these, whatever,
Mhm.
Rotom trash can mode, Rotom
Rota.
washing machine mode.
Man.
And so I don't think it's completely unreasonable to like the Gen 1. And I also don't think goes with it. Everyone wants to just lump, okay, well, think the designs in Gen 1 were better. Well, they had Electrode. What about that?
They didn't
Okay,
have Rotom air fryer though.
yeah,
Rotom
they could
catalytic
have
converter.
whether you like Voltorb and Electrode or not. I don't like Electrode. I think Voltorb's kind of cool. I like the eyes. But anyway, whether you like them or not, the entirety of Gen 1 is not in the garbage can because there are a few designs that are simplistic
I
and
used to
everything.
draw eyes like Voltorb's because I thought his eyes looked
Voltorb's
super
eyes
cool.
rock.
Yeah.
But again, and you could say this with like Grimer and Muck, who are not two of my favorite
Oh,
Pokemon.
I
I don't really
totally
like them. I
forgot about
never
them.
really have. But like again, you could say, well, there were only 151 Pokemon then, and this was
Dude,
different. It was not just in a
just
huge grouping of whatever trash bag Pokemon
can
and
you
everything.
imagine living in a world where you can count how many animals there are easily and identify them all easily?
Oh, awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, what?
So again, my take is not I love Grimer and Muck. That is not my take.
Wrong.
My take is I don't think you necessarily equate some of the bad Pokemon in later generations, particularly Gen 5, with Gen 1 as though they are a one-to-one comparison.
You're
And I
also
also
limited to the hardware of the time and the scope of the game
yeah,
and all of
I
these
mean,
other things. Like it's more of like at the time that was a passion project for the guy, you know.
yeah,
Now
I
it's a
mean,
corporate like
you had
machine.
people quitting left and right on the development of Red and Blue, or the original games. And now you have a massive company. You could come up with better stuff if you wanted to. But
And the original game was also like observations of what he had seen as a child in his garden, bugs he had collected, things like that. This one, I do think they lean into that with like, oh, you could find a pigeon, you could find this. Where am I finding this floating elephant fetus in the like in the real world? Like, what is
yeah.
this thing? Yuck.
And I feel like another element of this is, well, is this the original one or is this a ripoff? Masharna or whatever is a ripoff that looks even worse of Drowsy and Hypno.
Mm.
Okay, well, I don't really like Drowsy and Hypno anyway, but you could argue, well, they were original. The Gen 5s are just ripoffs of them that look even worse. So that's my part of the thing to me. Gen 1 gets a little bit of a pass because it's original.
I
Whereas
I don't really know if I could compare those two.
I have seen people compare that they
That's
call them
bizarre.
tapier Pokemon, that they both do dreams, they don't both do sleep,
You could say that, but
psychic.
you could also say some things are like all ghost Pokemon are the same too, or all like it's
I think
very
people
or
get
flying
fixated
Pokemon.
on the trunk,
Mm,
tusk, the nose trunk thing.
that's interesting. Yeah, I've
I
never
don't really
really
see them as the same, but I've seen people compare them online as though they are the same thing.
hmm, bad take.
Yeah, that's a
Only we
Pokemon
have good
hot take.
takes. No, that's not even a hot take. That's a bad take.
Cold take.
Man, I was thinking about a hot take I had. Completely lost it, but another one I thought of, the Rotom phone. Not a big fan of that. It feels like it's just shoehorned into everything now.
Yeah, they've leaned really heavy into
We
the Rotom.
we gotta find a way to convey information and have menus outside of a traditional menu screen. What can we do? Let's turn the Pokemon into the menu screen. I kinda get it, but it feels super forced. It was, like, nowhere to be found, and now it's everywhere all the time. And sometimes the Rotom can talk, and it's very unsettling to me.
Yeah, and you don't have a Pokédex anymore. You have a Rotom phone, which I mean makes sense in our world
Yeah.
where everything is done by smartphone now. And so I mean there's an element of me that likes it, but yeah, I get what you're saying that it's like everything's Rotom now.
Mhm.
And you don't have Dexter the Pokédex, which at the time was like, whoa, that thing
Dude,
is
Nathan,
crazy.
you have to play Pokopia. It is in Pokopia. That's the Pokédex you use.
Oh,
You
really?
use the
That's
Gen 1
cool.
anime Pokédex.
I had that Pokédex.
Man, yes.
I wish I still had it.
You at some point you gotta try this game. I think you would have a blast with the cuteness of the Pokemon and the references. It's not all about the building stuff. It's kind of more like exploring and kinda you have to make habitats for the Pokemon to live in. It's usually like 3 patches of grass next to something, you know? Like a rock or like some water, and they'll just, like, show up randomly, and you talk to them, and you do little things for them, and they make jokes and interact with each other. It's very cute.
Yeah, the little clips and stuff I've seen of it, the Pokemon look really good, and it looks
The world,
funny, and
however, not so much. It kinda bums me out.
yeah, I know.
Everyone's
That the whole
gone.
premise
It's very
makes me a
great.
little uneasy.
Did I tell you about that? Like, there's pictures of people, like, people's Pokemon and notes that are like, "Oh, this Pokemon's so cute. I love my Pokemon." And then you see it in the middle of their destroyed house and another note that's like, "April 1st, 1953. The house was leveled by a missile strike." It's like, "What? What happened here?"
Yeah, it's very dark.
No people are left. The cycling road is going to be closed for the foreseeable future. Like, and the music's it kinda bums me out sometimes. I haven't played enough of it yet, and I think that's part of the reason why. I just like, there's some cheery aspects to it, and then I'm really I don't know. There's, like, this OCD tendency where I have to, like, turn every grass block to, like, live grass because it's everything is dead in the game, right? And you have to water everything. So I'm, like, watering every single block and every surface of every object in this map because I have to get it done. I don't know. Just a me
Yeah, I could
thing.
see that being a thing where you really get, like, fixated.
Yeah, it's very, very troublesome to me because I like doing it, but I get stuck doing it, you know? I haven't played the actual game.
Yeah.
Charizard showed up, though. He's pretty cool, and so did Blastoise. Haven't seen Venusaur. I hope I don't.
That could be one of your hot takes. You don't
Nah,
like Venusaur.
he's okay. I don't like that he's covered in warts like a toad. I get he is a
Yeah,
toad. That's the whole point.
that is one thing about Venusaur I don't like as much, and it's not as bad in the anime. I think he's way cooler looking in the anime than he is in the
He
games, but
looks like one of the giant like toads from Naruto. Like he's kind of like gross, but
like
cool.
Bulbasaur, you can say, and have "saur" on the end, you could say, well, maybe that's a dinosaur and not
Yeah.
a frog. Well, by the time you get to Venusaur, you're like, okay, that's a frog thing. So,
I think for
yeah, I agree.
Ivysaur, I think the dinosaur part is the plant on top. It's
Yeah,
very
very,
prehistoric in nature.
yeah, fern leaves.
Yeah. 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 And the what's that? In Terraria, there's a boss, Plantera, and it's a giant pink flower with vines that chases you until you destroy it. Not good. It looks just like that though. The flower on Venusaur's back. Wasn't
Haven't
there
played that.
wasn't there an episode where someone got like poisoned or a Pokemon got poisoned by the like the flower on the back of like an Ivysaur or Venusaur?
I remember there was an episode where I think there might have been more than one, but like where Ash and Tracy in Orange Islands and uh Jesse from Team Rocket.
Hmm.
I feel like there's another episode, but like this, but get poisoned by a Vileplume, and
That's
they're
what
like,
it was. You're right. I knew it was something earlier on because I remember renting that tape from Blockbuster, and it was that and the ghost town with like in the old Wild West ghost town that they went to with all the like haunters and ghastlies. Um, those were on the. I think they were on the same tape.
"Were you talking about the one where there's Diglett and Electrode?"
I don't remember. It was like a western ghost town, and it was. I think it's the one with the scene from the title sequence where Haunter like does the lick.
Okay, so yeah, that would be Lavender Town.
Was
It's
it?
called Tower of Terror is the name of the episode. And yes, I remembered that.
Like it was like an old mining town. I don't think this is it. Uh, wait. Yeah, I don't know. 'Cause I remember they went to this old like western like shut down like mining town. That's what it was. I don't know. Maybe it was that one. But
I think you're thinking of the Diglett one. The Diglett
what?
Electrode. What is that one called? Can't remember. But the guy is a he uses Diglett to wrangle Voltorb and
Mm.
Electrode.
Was it nighttime during that episode?
Uh, it might have been part of the time. That
Because
one is
they
not
went
it.
to this like abandoned mine shaft and it's nighttime and there's ghost Pokemon there and it was an old episode. I don't know. I'll find it sometime or it's just like lost media or I just like made it up. We'll find out or we'll never find out. Which is more likely. Dude, I see a picture here from Pokemon Sword and Shield. I forgot how good that game looks. I'm gonna start it again here soon.
So there was a one hot take, which I won't go into it a lot because we talked about it a lot on the show. But one of my hot takes is that Sword and Shield are awesome,
I think so too.
and everyone for some reason hates them, even though they're awesome. And going along with that, I've already talked about it on an episode. I liked Scarlet and Violet. I know everyone else hated it, but
Boo.
so
Boo.
those are some hot takes.
Well, I think I can't think of anything else right now. There were
You
some
don't have any
other
more hot
things that
takes?
I had thought of. and now I've just completely lost it. Some of my hot takes revolve around the hardware itself, so that's not really Pokemon related, but I liked there being a handheld SKU that fits in your pocket and a home console SKU. Like, the idea that I have to carry around a little purse with me to play Pokemon or a video
Oh,
game.
you carry a purse
Dude,
anyway.
I do, but that doesn't matter. It feels so goofy. Like, it's a commitment. Like, you have this thing for, like, I don't know, like, if your DS is in your pocket, you're always like, "Oh, yeah, it's there. Let me get it out and play some games. No big deal. Don't look like an idiot doing this." It's kinda casual. When you get out the Switch and you're sitting somewhere, you look like an iPad kid. Like, it's not I don't know. Like, the only time that I've been, like, comfortable doing it was, like, waiting at the airport or something, you know? If you're on, like, public transportation, you look like an idiot. If you're, like, sitting at a restaurant, you look like an idiot. Like, it's not a great thing that just I don't know. I think the
It is
Switch
large.
Lite is a good size, right? But not being able to, like, fold it up or, like, have the screen protected to put in your pocket is a problem for me.
I actually like it being larger, but I totally
I
understand why you
do
would.
like it while I'm playing it being larger, for sure. Like, the screen, I almost exclusively played my Switch 1 in handheld mode. The Switch
Yeah,
2,
I play in
I've actually
handheld more.
played dock more, which is surprising for me. I like the way the Joy-Cons feel on this one. I think the console's a lot more comfortable to hold overall.
Um, oh, I just lost my train of thought. Oh,
Forget
what I was gonna say was I went back and played on a Game Boy Color in the last couple years and totally floors me. To me, I mean, obviously, I played it as a little kid.
Yeah,
It didn't feel small. And now when I go back and play it, and I mean, my smartphone has a bigger screen than that.
man.
And like, it's uncomfortable to hold because it's made for a child's hands.
The
And
original Game
like,
Boy is super heavy too.
it's
All
just so weird to me to go back and play those it's just so little.
Yeah.
But
It also isn't very ergonomic, like, it's super, like,
no.
awkward. Even when I was younger, I was like, "This is an awkward device."
And I don't know because I haven't played this. My original Game Boy was Game Boy Pocket,
Mm,
the green one with black and white screen. Then I had a Game Boy Color, then I got a Game Boy Advance.
mhm.
The way I remember it then and the way I kind of feel now is I loved the Game Boy Pocket, didn't really like the Game Boy Color, loved the Game Boy Advance. And now when I don't have the Game Boy Pocket anymore and I don't have a functioning Game Boy Advance right now. And so
Wait,
I'm
Advance or
wondering if
Advance SP?
Advance, I never
Okay.
had an SP. Uh, but, like, I'm wondering if there was something about because the color is shaped different than the Pocket, and I
Yes.
wonder if there was just something about the color that I
I
just
don't
didn't
know, I
like.
think the Color is actually the best version of the Game Boy. The original Game Boy is pretty bulky, takes a lot of batteries, you
I
have to
didn't have the
adjust the
original.
contrast and stuff on it. The Pocket is alright. So the guy that designed these, I saw something about him recently. He was actually brought on by Bandai, after he created the Pocket. They were having him make he made the Virtual Boy as well. Nintendo kind of forced him into making that. He was kind of just a guy that worked in Nintendo that would make, like, um, gadgets in his spare time. He liked making very simplistic things that did a lot, you know? Or I guess things that did a lot with fairly simple hardware and cheap hardware. And at some point, he comes out with the Game Boy Pocket to try to save face for Nintendo, after the Virtual Boy. And then Bandai, they were publishing games and making hardware at the time. They were making like Tiger Game kind of handhelds. They approach him and they're like, "Hey, we see that you've left Nintendo and you've started this small company to make handhelds. We want to see if you'll make like a like a Game Boy destroyer, right? Like something that, even though we publish games on their consoles, we want to see if we can make a rival system. So he makes this, I think it's called the Crystal Swan or something like that. It was exclusive to Japan, and it was a 16-bit handheld with a vertical screen that was like the size of the Game Boy Color. And problem is it had a lot of like anime games and stuff on it. It didn't really have a good battery life, but it was very well done. Like it was ahead of anything at the time. Um, but I saw that and I thought that was a really interesting thing. Not to go off on a tangent, just thought you'd find that intriguing. Yeah.
Very.
I wonder if I can. Oh, here it is. Wonder Swan. That's what it is. Okay.
Man,
This is what it looks like. Dude, this thing is
yeah, I
awesome.
don't remember ever seeing that.
Yeah, it's a Japanese exclusive console. It had a lot of Final Fantasy games and stuff that eventually would come to the Game Boy Advance. At first, a lot of these games were exclusive to this hardware, though. Pretty cool. But yeah, the designer of Game Boy made that. Game Boy Pocket.
Man,
Yeah.
they're just dominating the handheld
Oh yeah.
market.
Back to Bulbasaur. Man. Yeah, I can't think of any more right now. We could do like another like episode of our inconveniences on Pokemon things at some point, but or some other opinions, just on the fly opinions. But we'll probably talk
Yeah,
about them as we go, anyways. You'll hear everything,
yeah, it'll all happen.
man. But yeah, anything else we should discuss today?
Uh,
Or will we keep this a short one, or should we add a bonus thing to this one? What what games have you been playing lately? What's your games?
the only game that I've been playing lately
Mhm.
is FireRed.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, dude, I don't want to be that guy. I haven't had time to play games lately.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't
But,
play game do other things
dude,
now.
last night I stayed up until like 1 in the morning playing Mafia 2. I played the first game recently, and I've been working on the second one. I'm probably like a little over 2/3 the way through, and I wanted to get done with it before I leave for vacation and then a work trip. And it is super good. I love this game. The first one I think is still a little bit better. This one leans a little too far into like fist fighting instead of like cinematic shootouts. But it's a very good narrative driven game. I like it a lot. There's a lot of games that I have on my plate right now where I've started it and haven't finished it. Like I think I'm in the final palace on Persona 5 Royal, and it's agonizing how long that game is. Started Pocopia, started Fire Red. I don't know. I didn't finish Death Stranding. There's too many games. Just need
I
to
had started
return to nothing.
I had started Soul Silver and Omega Ruby, which I've
Oh yeah.
already played Omega Ruby before, but and then I just quit playing them very early on. I think we were thinking about playing through them together at one
Yeah.
point, and that's just kind of, I mean, I'm doing other things now.
I still wouldn't
So I,
mind eventually doing that. But if we
yeah,
do
I think we
decide to
should do it
stream
sometime.
Emerald, maybe maybe we do that over like an Omega Ruby and then do that one later or something.
Yeah,
Kind of compare the two.
yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like I like the Gen 3 versions better than the
Yeah, I love the
remake.
trumpet sounds, but I do think the remakes are excellent games.
Yeah, they're
They do
good.
some great things.
Yeah, they do a lot of really good things for sure.
We need to I don't know. Maybe next month we start streaming once every couple weeks or something, or every week
Yeah,
once one night every week we can play some games and upload it to YouTube. And I don't know. I'm thinking we can do like a Pokemon game and Maybe Alan
You have to
Wake.
teach me how to do this.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. I'll set it up. We can use Parsec or something. Parsec lets you just remote into my computer with a controller, so we can both control it
Through
with our controllers.
be fighting over what to do.
You could. Oh, dude, we
You're
could play
like,
the.
I want to choose this Pokemon.
I'm sure you have played the Batman Telltale game.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, I was about to say that would be a great one to do that with, like a
Oh
choice-based
yeah,
game.
you have to make a choice really
Yeah, I
fast.
think
And
that'd be fun. So maybe we could do something like that, or I don't know. But I still
man,
want to show you Alan Wake. I think you would get a kick out of that game.
I've played the both Batman Telltale games, and I remember I was trying so hard
Mhm.
to keep Joker from going
Yeah,
bad, and I don't really know if there even was a way to do that. Like, I think he
you could.
was going to.
I think you could. Because if you're playing the monochrome version, I really like the monochrome version of the game because you pick a color for all your tech, and then depending on if characters start to turn good or evil or start to do different things, they start to get different colors. So Joker will start to turn to Joker colors as he becomes evil, or like as he becomes good, he'll like start mimicking Batman, you know, stuff
Yeah,
like
like
that.
I had him do stuff like that, and he was like trying to become like Batman's sidekick and
Yeah,
stuff, but then it just went off the rails at the end. But I don't know.
that is
I
actually a
messed
really
something up.
good game though. I
Oh
loved that.
yeah, I loved those games. Did you get to the end of the second one?
Yep. Yeah, I finished the first. At first, I didn't even like the first one. It starts out kind of boring. I don't really like the crime families in Gotham, but it becomes super good super quick. And then I immediately bought the second one with the DLC that makes it black and white. And I was like, I gotta play this other one too. And the second one has a lot more of Batman's rogues gallery, more
Yeah.
clown villain type.
What did you think about? Okay, so I thought Alfred was being a complete diva
Oh, he's
in that
horrible.
game.
He is
And like
horrible.
he's not anything like Alfred from other media.
No,
And he gives you that choice to stop
Alfred will remember
being
that.
Batman or he'll leave. And I was like, "Nah, dude, I'm not gonna quit being Batman because you get your feelings hurt too easy." And so he
Yeah,
left. And it was me and Catwoman and not Alfred.
I liked the Lady Arkham thing too. I thought that was cool.
It was definitely a different twist.
Yeah, there's no way you could have predicted that, right?
There's gonna be
Such a
someone who's like, "Oh no, I
actually I
totally."
wrote the game. I'm John Telltale. Come on. Come on, guy.
Yeah, there's definitely some times where people tell me like or say they knew something beforehand, and I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
you didn't."
Yeah, don't.
But
It's such a weird thing to lie about. Like, what kind of clout do you think you're getting from that? Like, I'm just gonna look at you funny. Like, I'm not gonna give you a reward. Man, yeah,
I mean, I
I
guess
knew
maybe they
Mario was
would.
going to like turn into a dinosaur in the new Mario movie. All right, buddy, that's cool.
Good job.
Man, I'm gonna go see that movie Friday. I got a ticket right before
Oh, yeah,
school
I
gets
forgot
out,
about
so I
that.
don't have to go when people bring their screaming children. It has a solid like 4 out of 10 right now. So we're looking at a great movie, it seems.
Oh, really? It's 4 out of 10? But didn't
Yeah.
that happen last time? The critics, like, hated it and people
Yeah,
loved it?
critics hate everything. I don't.
Critics think
Dude, you
at
got to go see
everything.
that Project Hail Mary movie if you haven't yet.
Oh, yeah,
It's so
I haven't
good,
been.
dude. Um, man, so Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, is playing Yoshi in the movie. Um, and people at the test screening were like, "Oh, I'm glad that they just used the Yoshi voice instead of doing something different with it." Like he just mimicked Yoshi. Like he didn't do his own like stupid thing like Seth Rogen laughing like himself as Donkey Kong, you know?
Man, see, I was afraid they'd have him, like,
No,
talking.
dude,
As he
he's actually a really good voice actor. Like he was Miles Morales is based on him, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he actually voiced Miles in some of the cartoon stuff. And he was supposed to be him in the live action, and he was not. I think isn't he Shocker in the MCU technically? Like we haven't seen him as Shocker yet, but that's who he's supposed
Well,
to be.
the only place they had him wasn't he the guy who Spider-Man webbed to his
Yep,
car and he
yep,
was
that's him.
interrogating.
And he had I
So I
think he
don't
has the same name as Shocker. I forgot what Shocker's name is. I will chase you to the ends of the earth. He's pretty good in pretty well everything he's in, so I'm excited to see him as Yoshi.
Man,
Yobby.
it's a weird world. Does he do the slow motion?
Bring home. Man, I liked when Yoshi sounded like a orchestral hit instead of saying his own name. you know, like the Mario World sound effect where it's like,
Man,
I'll play it for you so we don't get copyright struck by Yoshi. Mario World Yoshi. Actually, no, we're not. It's a sound effect. It's an orchestral hit, which is a fair use sound effect. It is on every keyboard on this planet.
I don't think I even knew
That's
that
not
he
even the
used the sound.
sound. Oh, I bet this is it. Where's the sound when you jump on Yoshi? We're never seeing it, apparently. Nope. That was evil. Yeah, this is a fun fact. That's the sound that Yoshi used to make his first appearance, which is a slowed down orchestral hit. They just took this sound effect. I thought that was a cool tidbit. Man. Reject modernity. Embrace old Yoshi sound effect. Man. Oh, we could do some like Nintendo Classics catalog stuff too. NSO. Have you ever played any of the Super Nintendo Mario games? Yoshi's Island?
A
Mario
little
World?
bit, not very much.
Dude, that's one of my favorites. It's very good. And then they're adding Pokemon stuff. I know Legend, or no, what am I trying to say? Gale of Darkness is on there. Colosseum isn't though, which is the first game of the two, and they go back to
that's
back.
weird.
Isn't that odd?
Yeah, to put the second one and not the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah. Classic Nintendo. Man, we'll have to see if we get other games. I really hope the Gen 3 games make it to the NSO, or not NSO, but the eShop. Since this is an
Same.
anniversary thing, I doubt they will, because they're weird about it, but we'll see.
I was thinking we need to review Voltron sometime, but I don't know how we're going to
Yeah,
do
I'm
that.
thinking they need to put it on streaming services so we can watch it, like, legally.
I
'Cause
watched
I'm
it
not-
like 3 or 4 times on Netflix, but like it's not anywhere anymore. So
I
how
don't
do I
feel
watch?
comfy sailing the seven seas or borrowing it from a library, heaven forbid. You know, they don't even have all of it. You know, it came out on DVD, but the last 2 seasons never made it to DVD. So that is that's gonna be a problem. Is it back on anything? Is Voltron
Not that I've heard.
Legendary Defender? Left December 7th, 2024 due to expiring license contract.
I mean, I wonder if Amazon will end up with it since they're doing the movie.
Earlier seasons remained on Amazon Prime. Seasons 1 through 6 have been available on Amazon Prime before. Those are those are the seasons that are on DVD. 7 and 8 are not. Let me check Prime right now. Prime Video. Oh, never mind. I can't sign in. Well, I'm sure it's not. I usually get lied to by Google, so.
Yeah.
One time it told me something was on Netflix, and then what it failed to tell me, it was on Netflix Australia. So that did me a
It's
lot of
like,
good.
yeah, Netflix.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, Netflix has all this stuff. No, stop lying. It's unbecoming of a streaming service to lie like this.
It is. I mean, or an AI
It's
or
so sad that Netflix still has the page for this.
I know, dude.
You can still access the page for Voltron, and it doesn't exist on their streaming service because they lost it. It has the Netflix logo above it.
Well, that's like I hate how Netflix will be like, it knows what you want. Like if
Yeah,
you type something in and
yeah.
it'll be like, yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah, we have product images for this. We're not selling it.
Like, why, dude? Just
Just to
let me
spite
have
you.
the
Man. Let me at him. Why I gotta. Yeah.
so dumb.
Also, in case you were wondering, we are recording these much ahead because I will be away for a couple weeks. So that's why some of these episodes seem to be slightly coherent in theme. Well, not theme, in conversation because we're actually talking back to back on 2 days.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future. I know I've been gone a lot of weekends. Sorry about putting you through that.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'll try to keep doing that.
He's always going all over the world.
Yeah.
Got a girl in every port, is the Navy saying.
Not likely.
I don't even know how someone would manage that. Like,
It's pretty easy actually. You just get a spreadsheet.
keep all those people straight.
This person likes long walks on the beach. This person likes coffee.
I just feel like that would be incredibly overwhelming.
You know what is overwhelming?
What?
Going outside, talking to people.
Yeah, I'm not big on talking to people.
Pretty bad.
You would think that we would be doing a podcast, but we
No,
both hate it.
dude. Just like yapping.
Yeah.
I gotta be
The captain
cynical
audience.
about something and no one wants to hear it.
Yeah.
Like a
We're
Seinfeld
looking for our
character.
very niche audience.
It's like Seinfeld but with Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Kind of.
It's just us talking.
Yeah. It's about nothing. Well, I think we should
Oop,
wrap this one up.
hit
Dude,
my
why did you
computer.
do that? Why did you do that? Come on. We were so close to the end of the episode. You almost broke your computer. Better not do that next time.
Yeah,
Or
definitely
else.
not.
It's your podcast. And I'm making demands. All
I
right.
mean,
You mean?
well, I was just gonna say you're kind of in control of all the podcast stuff.
Nah. Not true.
All right, so that was some of our Pokemon hot takes.
And a
We
little
hope
more.
yeah, a little additional talk. Hope you enjoyed it. If you hate our hot takes, good. Please
Just
let us know
thumbs
that you hate
down.
them.
Growl at us.
If you like them, then great. Thank you.
If you hate them,
Please like them
donate
and
to a
follow.
charity.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm sure there's gonna be people who hate them.
And charities.
Yeah, that's probably true also. If you didn't like our takes, you hate charities.
Yeah.
So,
Oh well. Chef don't judge. See you around, guys.
bye.